You already know walking is healthy, but what if I told you that a simple 30-minute daily walk can actually reverse brain shrinkage, regulate blood sugar better than medications, and eliminate chronic back pain, all without a single prescription? Sounds too good to be true, right? But the research from Johns Hopkins, Harvard, and the Mayo Clinic proves it. We're breaking down 10 biological transformations that happen when you walk consistently, and some of these will shock you, like how walking protects your vision, or why it's more effective at preventing diabetes than high-intensity exercise. But here's the catch: most people walk completely wrong. They're wasting their time and missing out on these benefits. That's why at the end of this video, I'm revealing the W.A.L.K method, the exact scientific framework for duration, pace, and frequency that guarantees results. Drop a comment right now with your age and tell me, do you currently walk regularly? Let's see who's ready to transform their health starting today. Let's start with something that terrifies most Americans over 50. Losing your memory. Right now, over 6 million Americans are living with Alzheimer's disease, and that number is projected to nearly triple by 2060 according to the CDC. But here's what the research shows: walking can actually stop brain shrinkage in its tracks. A landmark study from the University of Pittsburgh followed 299 older adults for 13 years. They discovered that people who walked 6 to 9 miles per week had significantly greater brain volume than sedentary people even a decade later. Here's the mechanism. When you walk, you increase blood flow to the brain. This triggers something called brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or BDNF. Think of it as fertilizer for your brain cells. BDNF stimulates the growth of new neurons in the hippocampus, which is your brain's memory center. Basically, you're physically growing new brain tissue just by putting one foot in front of the other. The National Aging Agency confirms that regular aerobic exercise like walking is one of the most powerful tools we have to maintain cognitive function as we age. So you're not just taking a walk, you're building a bigger, more resilient brain that can resist dementia and keep your memories sharp for decades to come. Your mind is worth protecting, and it starts with your feet. This one sounds impossible, but the science is crystal clear. Walking protects your eyesight. How does moving your legs help your eyes? It's all about pressure regulation. Glaucoma, one of the leading causes of blindness in Americans over 60, is caused by increased pressure inside the eye. This pressure damages the optic nerve, and once it's damaged, the vision loss is permanent. But research from the Glaucoma Research Foundation found that moderate aerobic exercise like walking can lower intraocular pressure by up to 20%. Here's how it works. Walking improves overall circulation and helps regulate the fluid balance in your eyes. Think of it as a natural drainage system that prevents dangerous pressure buildup. And here's what's interesting. High-intensity exercise can actually spike eye pressure temporarily, but walking, it stabilizes and lowers it consistently. The American Academy of Ophthalmology now recommends regular moderate exercise as part of glaucoma prevention and management. So every step you take isn't just good for your heart, it's protecting one of your most precious senses. You're literally walking away from blindness. For years, we've been told that if you're not running, you're not really exercising, that walking is just for beginners. But the American Heart Association published research that changed everything. When it comes to preventing heart disease and stroke, walking is just as effective as running, especially for people over 50. A study published in the journal Atherosclerosis, Thrombosis, and Vascular Biology tracked over 33,000 runners and 15,000 walkers for 6 years. The results? Both groups showed similar reductions in risk for high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and heart disease. Here's the mechanism. Walking acts like a natural blood pressure medication. It widens your arteries, improves circulation, and helps your body process cholesterol more efficiently. And unlike high-intensity exercise, which spikes cortisol, your stress hormone, walking keeps your nervous system calm while still delivering cardiovascular benefits. The Mayo Clinic confirms that just 30 minutes of brisk walking can reduce your risk of heart disease by 30 to 40%. Think about that. You can cut your heart attack risk by nearly half without ever breaking into a run. Your heart doesn't need you to sprint, it just needs you to move consistently. Most people don't think about their lungs until they're struggling to breathe, but lung capacity naturally decreases as we age, and that affects everything. Walking is one of the most effective ways to maintain and even improve respiratory function after 50. Here's what happens. When you walk at a moderate pace, your breathing deepens. Your diaphragm, the primary breathing muscle, has to work harder, which strengthens it over time. But there's a hidden benefit most people miss. Toxin elimination. Deep, rhythmic breathing during walking helps expel carbon dioxide and other waste gases that accumulate in the lower portions of your lungs. You're essentially flushing out your respiratory system. Research from the European Respiratory Journal shows that regular, moderate exercise improves lung function and reduces the risk of chronic respiratory diseases by up to 30%. And stronger lungs means better oxygen delivery to every cell in your body, which means more energy, better sleep, and improved immune function. You want to stop feeling winded going upstairs? Stop sitting still and start walking. Your lungs need movement to stay strong. This one is where the science gets truly remarkable. A study from Duke University Medical Center compared walkers to runners over a 6-month period. They were specifically looking at glucose tolerance, how well the body processes sugar. The results shocked the researchers. Walkers showed a 6 times greater improvement in glucose tolerance compared to runners. 6 times! Here's why. When you do high-intensity exercise, your body burns through sugar quickly. But when you walk at a moderate pace, you train your body to process glucose efficiently over sustained periods. This improves insulin sensitivity, which means your cells become better at absorbing sugar from your bloodstream without requiring massive insulin spikes. The American Diabetes Association now recommends walking as a primary intervention for preventing and managing type 2 diabetes. And here's what's powerful about this. You don't need to run yourself into the ground. A simple 30-minute walk after meals can lower blood sugar levels by 20 to 30%. If you're pre-diabetic or managing diabetes, this isn't just helpful, it could be life-saving. Your pancreas is begging you to walk. Let's talk about something most fitness videos ignore: your gut health. Your digestive system is essentially a long muscle tube, and like any muscle, if you don't move it, it doesn't work properly. Walking stimulates something called peristalsis, the wave-like muscle contractions that move food through your intestines. A massive study published in the British Journal of Cancer analyzed data from over 150,000 people. The finding was clear. People who walked regularly had significantly lower rates of colon cancer than sedentary individuals. The mechanism is twofold. First, walking speeds up digestion, which reduces the time potential carcinogens sit in contact with your intestinal walls. Second, it reduces inflammation throughout the digestive tract. The American Cancer Society confirms that just 30 minutes of moderate activity daily can reduce colon cancer risk by 30 to 40%. And if you already have digestive issues, constipation, bloating, irregular bowel movements, walking is one of the most effective natural remedies. You're mechanically helping your body eliminate waste more efficiently. Your gut health determines your overall health, and walking is the key to keeping everything moving smoothly. Here's a secret the fitness industry doesn't want you to know. You don't need a gym membership to tone your body. Walking, when done with proper form, engages nearly every major muscle group. Your legs are obvious. Quadriceps, hamstrings, calves, and glutes all fire with every step. But when you walk with correct posture and arm swing, you're also working your core. back, shoulders, and arms. A study from the University of Massachusetts found that people who walked 10,000 steps daily showed significant improvements in muscle tone and body composition, comparable to moderate gym workouts. But here's what makes walking superior for people over 50. It's low impact. There's no joint pounding, no muscle tearing, no recovery time needed. You can do it every single day without breaking your body down. The key is technique. Spine straight, shoulders back, core engaged, arms bent at 90 degrees and swinging naturally. When you nail the form, you transform a simple walk into a full-body conditioning session. Physical therapists actually recommend walking as one of the safest, most effective ways to maintain muscle mass and functional strength as we age. You don't need weights, you need consistency and proper form. Your bones are living tissue. They respond to stress, and if you don't stress them, they weaken. This is why osteoporosis is epidemic among sedentary older adults, especially women. Walking provides what's called weight-bearing exercise. Every time your foot hits the ground, it creates a small amount of impact that signals your bones to stay strong. But here's the fascinating part. This impact creates something called piezoelectricity, tiny electrical charges within the bone tissue. These charges stimulate cells called osteoblasts to build new bone material. You are literally electrically signaling your skeleton to rebuild itself. The National Osteoporosis Foundation recommends 30 minutes of weight-bearing exercise like walking as a primary strategy for maintaining bone density. And research published in the Journal of Bone and Mineral Research found that women who walked regularly had significantly higher bone density than sedentary women even years later. Running can cause stress fractures. Sitting accelerates bone loss. Walking builds strong bones without breaking them. Your skeleton is your foundation. Keep it strong with every step. Back pain is the #1 cause of disability in Americans under 45, and it gets worse as we age. Here's the problem. Your spinal discs don't have a direct blood supply. They rely on movement to absorb nutrients, kind of like a sponge that needs to be squeezed and released to function. When you sit all day, your discs slowly dehydrate and degenerate, but when you walk, you create a pumping action that circulates nutrients into the soft tissue of your spine. A study in the journal Spine found that people with chronic lower back pain who walked regularly experienced significant pain reduction, often more than those who did specific back exercises. Here's why. Walking strengthens the erector spinae muscles, the muscles that support your spine, improves posture, and increases flexibility, all without the risk of injury from twisting or bending movements. The American Physical Therapy Association now lists walking as a primary recommendation for chronic back pain management. You're not just moving forward, you're oiling the mechanics of your spine with every step. If your back hurts, the answer isn't more sitting, it's more walking. Finally, let's talk about the benefit that changes everything: your mental health. The Journal of Psychiatric Research studied 50 individuals with major depressive disorder. Those who walked 30 minutes daily showed dramatic improvements in mood, in some cases matching the effects of prescription antidepressants. Here's the mechanism. Walking triggers the release of endorphins, your body's natural feel-good chemicals, and reduces cortisol, your stress hormone. But there's something deeper happening. Research from Iowa State University found that the simple act of forward motion, literally moving your body through space, creates a psychological shift. It's nearly impossible to remain in a depressive mental state while your body is in active forward movement. Walking also increases BDNF, which we talked about earlier, and low BDNF levels are directly linked to depression and anxiety. The Mental Health Foundation confirms that regular walking can reduce anxiety by 20% and depression by 30%. You're not just exercising your body, You're resetting your brain chemistry naturally. And in a world where 1 in 5 American adults struggles with mental health issues, this simple, free intervention could be life-changing. You made it to the end. Now, here's your blueprint, the W.A.L.K method. W stands for weekly consistency, minimum 5 days per week. Daily is ideal. Your cells need regular signals. A stands for appropriate pace. That's 2.5 to 3.5 miles per hour. You should be able to talk, but not sing. Heart rate elevated, but not gasping. L stands for length of time, 30 minutes minimum. That's the threshold where biological benefits kick in. Aim for 6,000 to 10,000 steps. K stands for key technique. Proper posture, spine straight, shoulders back, core engaged, arms swinging at 90 degrees, and land heel first and roll through to toes. Here are some pro tips. Walk in the morning to reset your circadian rhythm. Drink water before you start. Dehydration kills performance. Wear proper supportive shoes to protect your joints, and start where you are. Even 10 minutes counts. Here's your challenge. Commit to 7 days, just 1 week of the W.A.L.K method. Comment below, "I'm walking," if you're ready to commit. Let's see who's serious about taking control of their health. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications. We're just getting started with simple, science-backed strategies that actually work. Your body is begging you to move. Don't wait till tomorrow. Tomorrow is a trap. Start today. Start now. Stay moving. Stay strong.